僕ですか？
it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Until you feel the vibes and touch the sky. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Until you feel the vibes and touch the sky. On a Sunday morning, I touch the sky. Next morning, I touch your heart. Was the start. I play my role when I rip the.
There we go. Yes, I know I'm not on my home world. How's it going, Ulu? Okay. What's up, Alpha now? Impeccable timing. We've just received a letter from Lord Hien. He writes that the Domans are coordinating their efforts with the Blue Kojin to maintain a constant watch over the Red. By staying on the lookout for signs of crystal hoarding and the like, they mean to nip any summoning attempts in the bud, thereby satisfying the conditions for peace set down by the ambassador. For the Garleand's part, the Populares have sent word that a vessel bearing a Doman's conscript is soon to arrive in Yangsha. It would seem that the prisoner exchange is to proceed as planned. Lord Hien requests your presence, and I share his view that you should be on hand at this critical juncture. According to the letter, Yotsuyu's memory has yet to return, so it looks like she'll be living out the rest of her days in Doma, assuming the ambassador means to honor the agreement, of course. But before we get to that, however, I think that it would be wise to assess her condition one last time. If the Domans have missed any change in her mental state, no matter how slight, it would be better if Asahi weren't the one to spot it. Agreed. Let's make straight away for the Enclave, then. Lord Hien will be waiting. Trust you will cope in our absence, Tataru? Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Just be sure to come back safely. Out of curiosity, is this an auspicious encounter quest line? Is it just the hard mode Susano fight? Where's the Doman Enclave? Oh, okay. Can't I teleport to the Doman Enclave? Yangsha. Oh, Kienkan. There we go. No. There we go. Doman Enclave. Kienkan, not Kienkan, because it's his dad. Simulator reach you across the Ruby Sea. Thank you for coming so swiftly. Though I wrote at some length on the subject of the forthcoming exchange, there was one other matter I neglected to mention. It concerns Gosetsu. As you may have observed, his return from his ordeal rather worse for wear, and despite his best efforts to conceal his condition, or perhaps because of them, he recently collapsed. Good gods, is he alright? Confined to bed and grumbling without cease, but he has shown signs of recovery. He made me promise not to tell you, lest you worry unduly, which was all very well when you weren't here. Now that you are, however, I think it's high time that he receive some visitors. Might you spare him a moment? Yotsuyu has scarce left his side, and I imagine you're curious to see what has become of her as well. We'll visit him at once. At once.
Open wide now.
Pleased to you. I'm not so frail that I cannot feed myself. I grow weary of the taste of gruel.
You don't like it? Can I fetch you something else?
Aye, wine. Or if that is not wholesome enough, I don't know. A sweet persimmon from Namai? I enjoyed them in my youth.
A persimmon.
Nay, pay me no mind. I am full. Besides, we have guests.
I hope we are not interrupting your meal. We had heard you were confined to bed and thought you might welcome some visitors.
Confined to... a gross exaggeration. A trifle drained from my exertions, perhaps, but with a little rest, I shall be fighting fit again in no time.
Sure, man, sure.
Take off your clothes.
Gosetsu, is this how you've been spending your time?
My lady, I assure you this is not.
Off with them. We need to wash you. You stink.
Oh, the
What
bullet
are all these
wounds.
scars? There are so many of them.
That's where you shot him. Also, how did he get the bullets out on his own?
A life of battle will leave its mark upon a man. Is something wrong, Tsuyu?
It's nothing. I'm fine.
But leave me be, woman! I will not be fussed over like some newborn babe.
Make a convincing pair, do they not? On first acquaintance, I would think him a doting grandsire and her a model grandchild. Indeed. Had someone told me a year ago that I would live to bear witness to such a scene, I would have declared them mad. That aside, I am relieved to see Gosetsu has lost none of his spirit. But what a turn of events. I mean, for her to suddenly be watching over him, you couldn't make it up. Although I suppose Gosetsu is an old man, with the way he charges through life, it can be easy to forget. Aye, he has resisted, decrepitude with the same defiance he showed the enemies of Doma. But no matter how adamant his will, no man can carry on forever. He has pushed himself beyond the limits of endurance too many times. Even if his health returns, the fact remains he will never again be the warrior he once was. He has given his all for his liege and land, and we will ask no more. What of his nurse? If Yotsuyu is feigning that, well, she certainly has me fooled. This is no pretense. Yugiri, out of all of us, I would think you the hardest to convince. What makes you so sure? Been spying on Yotsuyu from the shadows, waiting for the misstep that would betray her charade for what it was. But her mask never slipped, not once. She has remained in the character from the first. One evening, I watched as she sat in her chambers unguarded and alone. She had taken the dishes from the cupboard and was pretending to prepare dinner right on the tatami, a child's game. Even the wariest shinobi would not go to such lengths. I cannot but conclude that her mind is truly broken. Well, that's good enough for me and everyone else, I would hazard. The matter is settled. Yotsuyu will become Tsuyu and begin a new life here in Doma. Before that can happen, however, we will need to present her to the ambassador one last time to prove that her memory is truly gone. But I would not risk parading her in front of our returning conscripts. Her presence at the exchange would only stir up mutinous thoughts. Understandably, she's as good as fastened to the chains around her neck. The chains around their necks. Aye, which is why I mean to conclude business with Tsuyu first, on the sign of out of sight of my countrymen. Will you help me? We're at your service. There's no higher purpose than the pursuit of peace. My thanks. The Garleans are on the way, and we must prepare to welcome the ambassador. We'll meet you at the docks with Tsuyu. Anyway, Ren, an ambassador showed up and was like, oh, yo, we're totally willing to do, like, a prisoner exchange and set up a peace envoy, so long as you give me back my sister, my stepsister. And everyone was like, well, we could do that, but she forgot all of her memories, so... Sure. But that could be a problem. And now it looks like she is getting her memories back, but everyone thinks for sure that she doesn't have them at this point. There we go. Also, the ambassador was super friendly and helped us save some children, and then had a yandere moment with us. So we think he's very sus. I should play more Splatoon. Friends, have you seen Tsuyu? She's nowhere to be found. What? But Garleans will be landing in a matter of moments. If she's fled, could it mean her memories have returned? I know not. Yugiri is scouring the streets as we speak. It is possible Tsuyu has left the Enclave altogether. A word. Do you perchance have did you perchance carry a fair-skinned woman across the river? Fair-skinned woman, my lord. I do not rightly know. I think yes, my lord. Now that you mention it, there was a lady among the passengers whom I do not recall seeing before. Her face was hidden by the brim of her hat, but I remember her taking her hand to help her onto the boat. Why does new fallen snow? Was she someone important, my lord? Have I done something wrong? Wrong? No. I was really hoping to catch our guest before she departed. Be at ease, Captain. Would seem Tsuyu has crossed the river. Kami, help me, no good can come of this. Seems Tsuyu has gone unrecognized this far, but Kami, help us if someone catches a view of her face. I must find her before that happens. Responsibility of her disappearance for all of this lies with me, but I would ask that you aid nonetheless. We are at your service, Lord Hien. Now as before, let's make the crossing and begin our search. You go on ahead. Someone should let Yugiri know what happened. I'll join you on the other side. We have no way of knowing where Tsuyu's headed. so we best divide our forces. I'll take Kusakari and its surrounds. Alphino, would you take the road to Castrum Fluminous? And Missing, you take the one place that she's actually going to be. Interrogate the residents of Yuzuka Manor. Yo, Luneza, how's it going? Okay. Welcome to Yuzuka Manor. Manor. Yes, yes. If there is anything you care to know, you need only a pale-skinned woman. I have not seen no such traveler, I'm sorry to say. Most sorry. Most sorry. Scaly-skinned Namazu, on the other hand. We have an abundance. Are you okay? He's probably fine. Unusually pale skin. Yes, yes. I saw this woman on the way back from a fishing trip. You fish? Isn't that like problematic? I don't know. She had crossed the shallows east of here and was headed in a northeasterly direction for the most part. Her steps did not seem certain. If you hurry, you might still catch her. I'm very happy that I decided to do all of the flight quests off stream. It still feels weird. It's like if a human ate monkey. Short distance, she probably still looking wide-brimmed hat. Oh no, she doesn't have her hat anymore. Required to confirm her position. The same hat Yotsuyu was wearing when he found her at Sakazuki. Yotsuyu is still alive, as far as I'm aware. Our search for Kusakari and surroundings have yielded exactly naught save this chance reunion with you, I suppose. Mr. Talise has gone to assist her brother at the castrum. It was she who informed me of the situation. I joined Lord Hien shortly thereafter. How dare you fare? How did you fare Yuzuka Manor? Any sign of our guest? Towards the Mai, by the Kami, the villagers recognize her. It will not end well. We must hurry. Yugiri and I will check the patties. The village square is yours.
Greetings. Might I have one of your... Wait! please. I only wanted a persimmon.
Kami, save us! Her spirit has returned!
She's back from the dead to seek her revenge!
Yeah, why am I not moving forward to talk to her? Like... Yeah, we should have ran forward a lot sooner.
It can't be. She couldn't have survived.
What did I do?
As if you don't know!
Good people of Namai, be at ease, I pray you. You have naught to fear.
My lord, forgive me, but what is that monster doing here? They told us she was dead!
I too was surprised to learn of her survival. More even than you, I would hazard. 'Twas I who cut her down, I who left her to her fate. But it would seem the Kami had other plans. By some miracle, both she and Gosetsu were spared when the keep collapsed, though Yotsugu's preservation came at the cost of her memory.
You're saying she's forgotten? Forgotten everything she's done?
Lies! Lies! My lord, she would say anything to escape punishment!
What does it matter? We have not forgotten her crimes, and we demand justice! I beg of you, Lord Hien, draw your blade and rid us of this canker!
What I saw then, it's all true. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're sorry? And what? We're supposed to forgive you?
Here, there's no need to cry. Can't you see how scared she is? How can you be scared of her? She's not the same.
Until such time as her memories return, this woman shall be known as Tsuyu, and treated as a citizen of Doma. I will, however, see that she is watched at all times. Rest assured that there will be no more unannounced visits to the village. As your lord, I ask that you leave her fate in my hands, and suffer her to live, for now.
Please, Issei.
All right. I'll keep my peace. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
You know, they should have just, like, given her a different haircut. like, just anything to make her look different. I don't know why everyone's so angry, but I got the fruit Gosetsu wanted. I hope he likes it. You literally just said that you remembered. Yeah, super. I do love. God, okay, just gonna throw this out there. My Adventures with Superman, great show. I still need to finish watching it, but great show. And like, I love the all you needed was a little lampshade, and I love like the moment he gets his outfit and his mom like fixes him up with like the pants. He's like, don't you think people will recognize you? And his mom's like, honey, I barely recognize you. I'm like, I love that. Like, the idea is that Clark Kent is too much of a goody two-shoes like soft boy to actually be a superhero, so just nobody assumes it's Clark Kent. And also, like, somebody brought up the point that like a lot of people don't actually ask themselves who, like, in universe, there's not a lot of people asking, like, who is Superman's secret identity, because it never crosses their mind that Superman in his normal day-to-day is just a normal dude. They think that he's just like a god. So like nobody thinks is Clark Kent Superman because nobody thinks that Superman has a secret identity. They might at most be like, yeah, Clark kind of looks like that Superman, doesn't he? But nobody would actually think that they're the same person. Also, her persimmon failed to consider how she might endanger herself, knowing she has the mind of a child. I should have continued my vigilance, not relaxed it. I'm not scared of her, not anymore. Can't forget what that woman did to us, but I won't do anything to upset Azami. That would have been better avoided, but at least it did not end in bloodshed. Judging by Sue's reaction, she remains oblivious to the events of her former life. She literally said what I saw was true, so she does remember it. This was no escaped attempt. Nay, it seems it was an offhanded request at Gosetsu which brought her to Namai. She came in search of a persimmon. And they say the fruit is good for the health. I do hope Gosetsu finds a taste to his liking. Well, we have certainly taken the long way around, but let's continue to Castrum Fluminus and meet up with our ambassador. Alphino and Alice should be there, conducting their search. I do like that also the show My Adventures with Superman, which is a very good show that you people should watch. I do like that they figure out that he's Lois and Jimmy figure out that he's Superman very early on, so that doesn't stay like a source of drama the entire show, which is nice. Oh, they're here. The ship's here already. Do you have to stay here for long? He'll be waiting for his fruit. I was sure Yotsuyu had fled, but it seems her memory hasn't returned after all. How foolish of me not to consider Gosetsu's craving for seasonal fruit. Lord Hien informed us of the uproar over at Namai. I think the 12 you found Yotsuyu when you did. I dare not think what might have happened had you not. The Imperial airship has arrived. Whether our conscripts are aboard remains to be seen. Seems our Imperial guests have already arrived. It's time to meet with the ambassador.
What a pleasure it is to see you once more, Lord Hien. Not to mention my dear sister.
A pleasure to see you too, Ambassador. Forgive us our late arrival. You have our people aboard the airship?
Exactly as agreed. We would leave you in no doubt as to the purity of our intentions. I dare say it was the self-same spirit of cooperation which prompted you to bring Yotsuyu here today.
Indeed. Before excluding her from the exchange, I thought it only fair that you see her condition for yourself. Physically, she is in fine health, but her mind is unchanged.
So I see. But all need not necessarily be lost. In anticipation of this tragic turn of events, I took the liberty of inviting some special guests.
He has a very punchable face. Oh, Yotsuyu's actual parents.
Ah, Yotsuyu. You look, well.
He understands tropes. He understands amnesia tropes. He's using them against us.
Of all the people.
Is something wrong, dear sister? These are our beloved parents. Does not the sight of them bring back sweet childhood memories?
Gosetsu. I have to take this to Gosetsu.
It would seem my little surprise was not sufficient.
Very much an asshole move. His face is incredibly punchable.
You needn't glare at me so, Lord Hien. I merely did what any loving son would do for his family. Lest you doubt, I am content to leave the acting viceroy in your care. Pray, treat her as you would any daughter of Dorma. Do not grow too fond of this place, dear sister. You will come back to us ere long.
So punchable makes you one. Consider exchanging class to monk to do just that.
We continue with the exchange as planned, then.
Very good. The structure across the river should serve our needs. We shall await you there with the conscripts. If you would bring your captives.
Agreed. Until then, Ambassador.
knew better than to trust Asahi, but that was a dirty trick. Still, unpleasant as it was, we have at least put the matter of Tsuyu's future to rest. I sent her back to the Enclave with Yugiri to give Gosetsu his precious persimmon. Come, let's follow them. You have that look, Alphino. What is it? Nothing of consequence, most like. We can discuss it upon our return. It sure sounds like it's something of consequence, Alphino. Suppose Tsuyu is to become an official Dolmen citizen, but what then? Will he keep her hidden here forever, or might she one day be allowed to walk amongst her countrymen? So it would seem there was one less prisoner at the exchange. I only hope Yotsuyu's presence here will not present further problems. We should pay a visit to Gosetsu and reassure him about Tsuyu's fate. He will want to know that the Empire has finally relinquished its claim on her.
Gosetsu, are you awake?
My lord, come in, come in. When Tsuyu returned, her eyes were red from weeping. She spoke not a word, simply sat and peeled some fruit she'd brought for me. She then claimed weariness and retired to her chamber. Tell me, what happened to upset her so?
The ambassador arranged a surprise reunion with her foster parents. A misguided attempt to restore Yotsuyu to her senses. It was plain their presence caused her great distress, but she seemed otherwise unaffected.
Yotsuyu was mistreated as a child, was she not? It was a cruel trick to use her tormentors like that, knowing the pain it could cause.
Also, people at the village yelled at her.
I like this Asahi less and less.
Be that as it may, he has agreed to allow Yotsuyu to remain with us in Doma. Our primary concern now is to hand over the prisoners without incident and bring our people safely home.
There was one other detail at the meeting which caught my attention. I assume you all noticed the rather suspect crates within the castrum. The Imperials were quick to retrieve them afterwards, but I wonder.
Out with it, brother. You fear they might contain bombs or war machines?
If the ambassador wanted me dead, he has had ample opportunity. No, assassination is not his intent, but we should be on our guard for other acts of treachery.
My lord! Forgive me, but the Lady Yotsuyu, she's gone!
Again?
Gone?
I beg your pardons, my lords. I was certain she'd fallen asleep.
No, the responsibility is mine. 'Twas I who gave her a room instead of a cell. She may simply have wandered outside. We will organize search parties. Might I call upon your assistance?
She needs one of those, like, child leashes.
Help! Help!
We gotta change class back into Scholar.
Help! Help me!
Oh, no, we don't need to help him. We don't need to help him. He's an asshole. That's fine. Be like, oh no, he was dead when I found him. He died of a heart attack because he's so old. It's just what happens to old people. Ignore the blood on his mouth. That's
If only
probably
I had
nothing.
remembered. He should hate me. But I will not suffer his kindness. Not after what I did to him.
Who's there?
Why are you guys in the Dolmen Enclave?
Oh, it's you. What are you doing out here in the dark?
This is the Enclave, is it? When the soldiers dragged us back to Doma, you were the last person I expected to see.
You're the bane of our existence, Yotsuyu. A font of misery.
Oh, you shut the...
You couldn't even do us the simple courtesy of dying, could you? Oh, no. You had to live and taint us with the shame of your failure. We had a perfect life in the capital, and now they're making us wallow in this muddy ruin like common swine. I don't deserve this.
Now, dear, that'll do. There seems little point in berating the girl when she scarcely remembers her own name. Our time would be better spent contemplating how we're to survive this unhappy predicament.
You're not. Stab them.
You've kept your looks at least. I suspect you'd fetch a handsome price with the right buyer. Maybe enough to get us to Kugane and start a new business.
Ah, my beloved parents. No sooner do I wake from gentle slumber than the world returns in all its cruelty. Yes, this is how it always was. How it was meant to be. Very well. If I cannot escape my nature, then I shall embrace it.
Look, no one's gonna actually care
To
if
the
you...
very depths I have sunk, my soul steeped in spite and rotten to the core. The self-righteous hide behind justice, but I need no such mask.
Just letting you know, like, if you kill these two
Father,
people, no one will
Mother.
care.
Was it not you who made me into this monster? Who taught me the truth of this miserable world?
Yeah, so just murder them. Just make them dead.
For years I knew naught but the taste of pain and humiliation. But the time has come to savor my vengeance against Doma. Against all my enemies. And it begins...
With you!
Yotsuyu!
What?
Yep. Look, I mean, if there's any acceptable reason to go back to being a murderer... Oh no! She killed them. Like, I know she's back to being a psychopath and whatever, but, like, they deserve to die.
Well done, dear sister. Did I not say you would come back to us?
Brother dearest, what a surprise. You always were a cold-blooded little worm. I doubt you thought twice about sending our parents to their deaths.
Your dagger yet drips with their blood, and you presume to judge me? To be frank, I didn't think you had the strength to slay them so cleanly. A single thrust each. I'm impressed. But surely you can't be satisfied with murdering a pair of doddering elders. You yearn for a deeper vengeance, and the power to see it through.
Oh no, they died while I was having a plot flashback.
Please.
Oh no.
I don't want to die.
Oh, that's too bad, man. It's too bad. Go to sleep. Just go to sleep. Just go to sleep.
Any sign of her? What happened here? I knew what would happen if she recovered. And still, I did nothing. You say she left with her brother?
I like how the guy's still bleeding out there, like,
Whatever he wants with her,
plot
he
things,
was willing to pay for it with his parents' lives. But this is neither the time nor the place. We must gather the others.
Also, just chuck their bodies into the river or something. It'll be fine. Tie it to a rock, chuck it in the river. No one cares. Yotsuyu has returned to the bosom of the Empire after all. I cannot say I'm surprised, but what I struggle to fathom is Asahi's aim in all of this. So Asahi got his way in the end at an unspeakable price. He really is a vile little worm, isn't he? Yotsuyu hit her recovery well. I had no inkling that her memory had returned. I keep asking myself what could have happened. At the meeting with her parents, perhaps? But then why would she... Nay, there's naught to be gained from such conjecture. We've recovered the Nero's remains, and will hold the cremation anon. Or that they had never set foot in Doma. I broke the news to Gosetsu myself. He was quiet. I think it best that he be allowed some time alone with his thoughts. So, my friends, that which we fear has come to pass. Yotsuyu has regained her memory and returned to the Imperial fold. It is, by any measure, a cruel twist, not least for Gosetsu, but one which does not invalidate our agreement. According to the terms of contract, we were bound to surrender Yotsuyu into the Garlean's hands should her condition improve prior to the hour of the exchange. By that reckoning, all is, if not as it should be, then as it must be. This I can accept. What I cannot accept are the unconscionable lengths to which Asahi went to achieve this outcome. Given his recent conduct and his apparent admiration for Xenos, it's plain that he cannot be trusted, and that is to say nothing of the unexplained containers that he insists on bringing to our meetings. Whatever the ambassador is planning, I think it unlikely our negotiations will end peacefully. In the event of hostilities, the safety of the conscripts must be our first concern. As such, I would have an escape route in place before the meeting begins. A wise precaution. If the main structure of Castrum Fluminus is to be the stage of the exchange, then I believe a thorough inspection is in order. The citadel has stood empty ever since the Imperial withdrawal. While we took steps to ensure that it could not be defended by an occupying force, it's entirely possible the ambassador has arranged things there to his advantage. I'll slip inside and make certain we have an unobstructed exit. Pray allow me to join you. I have some experience with Imperial facilities, and should matters take a turn for the worse, I would hope that at least to be of at least some use. Very good. That should be enough to guarantee us a way out of the castrum. Beyond that, however, we'll need a ship to ferry the conscripts back to the Enclave. Even with every skiff we have, it would take several trips to evacuate everyone. A Confederate Sekibune, on the other hand, would require only a single run, and leave us far less vulnerable over the water, assuming, of course, Rasho can be convinced to part with one. Might I take the lead on this? I've had dealings with Rasho and his pirates before, and I won't be alone, will I? You can count on me. Much appreciated. I quite fancy parleying with pirates again. It's a shame Lise won't be there to reprise her role. I'm certain you would not, you would make a persuasive pair, but I think I'll accompany you to these negotiations all the same. My lord, the ruler of Doma should not be seen consorting with common brigands. Come now, Yugiri. They stood with us against the Empire. If we should ask their aid once more, we must treat with them as equals. My presence shall serve to demonstrate our sincerity. Indeed, my lord. Pray forgive my presumption. By your leave, Master Alphino and I shall about to our task. And we should be on our way to Onokoro. Time is short, and Rasho may take some convincing. Now there's a face I did not expect to see. What brings the noble lord of Doma into the company of bilge rats such as we? If you come to offer Doman chains in place of Garlean ones, I'm afraid you've wasted a trip. Ah, what a fine subjects you would make. With your fleet at our disposal, our restoration efforts would be hastened tenfold. But let us speak seriously. I stand before you not to demand your fealty, but to request your aid once more. Mayhap you are confused. Doma's liberation was but a means to an end. We aided you only to save ourselves. Now we have no such incentive. We have sworn no oath to you, and will not come running like hounds to their master's whistle. And I would not presume you to treat you thus. I come to petition your cooperation as an ally of equal standing. Equal standing, you say? Seems a bit lopsided to me. Where's the profit in all of this? Profit? Must you always think in such short-sighted terms? Have you ever heard of doing the right thing? Have you ever heard of pirates, little miss? You'll find that we are simple souls. You pay our tithe, you sail in peace, you deny us our due, and we take it by force. We'll pull you out of the water if we see you drowning, but we're not in the business of doing something for nothing. Calm yourself, Mr. Salisay. We did not come here to moralize. We came here to talk, and there is more to be said. According to our records recovered after the liberation, relatives of your Doman-born brethren were among those conscripted into the Imperial Army, and as you may be aware, we recently negotiated the return of said conscripts. Many, alas, will arrive to find no families waiting for them, no homes to grant them shelter. I would ask that you offer them a place in the Confederacy. You would not be recruiting strangers, but welcoming brothers and sisters into your ranks. And has not the Confederacy been in need of new recruits? You seem well informed of our affairs, Lord Hien. The losses we suffered at the Garleans' hands are no secret, but since we drove them out of Doma, the Ruby Sea has come alive with traders and travelers. So many vessels to tax, so few pirates to tax them. We could do with some more hands on deck, and doubly so if they're familiar with the inner workings of the Empire. Very well. The Confederacy agrees to your request. You will have your ship. But before that, you must do something for me. The vessel I have in mind was damaged during your battle with the Empire. Though we have mended her, she has yet to be declared seaworthy. She's sound enough down below, but when you load her up with conscripts and the waterline rises, those upper planks had best be free of cracks. Assuming you want your people to stay dry, you will do me the favor of swimming around the hull to check for weaknesses. That is, if Doman Lords are not averse to getting their robes wet. Now this Doman Lord, we each inspect a third of the ship and shall be done thrice. Done in a trice. That's the spirit. The ship is moored at Quickscape Pier. Our apprentice shipwright will be on deck to hear your report. Look for a lad named Ihanashi. I thought I had a knack for parlaying with pirates. For the record, my previous attempt was an unmitigated success, and yes, I should have quit while I was ahead. Well, well, I thought the rumors exaggerated, but the young lord lives up to his reputation. Spot a small crack in one of the planks. For once, I'm actually glad Yuri isn't here. I doubt she would have taken kindly to a pirate inviting Kian to inspect this hull. The water's so invigorating. I have not swum in the Ruby Sea since... but I should be concentrating on the task at hand. I am the shipwright, or apprentice shipwright. Did you find anything that might need attention? Section I inspected seems solid enough. Port side, near the bow, you say? Alright, I'll have a look and see what we can do. My apologies. I seem to have lagged behind. I could float in the gentle sea all day. Otherwise, I'm happy to report no visible cracking or holes in my section of the hull. Your Lord Hien! The captain sent you to inspect the hull? God me have mercy. Forgive us the discourtesy, my lord. 'Tis quite all right. In fact, I rather enjoyed it. I take you of Doma? Yes, my lord. The Imperials took my father away after the uprising, and I had nowhere else to run. Their yukata has bombs on it. That's adorable. Sorry, there's dramatic moment happening, but I think I like the yeah. Someone told me they're releasing the conscripts now. Maybe my father will be among them. Not that I can go back. There's no leaving once you joined. How fares our lady? Is she seaworthy? Captain, we found a small crack in the port side, but I've fixed it before you know. I'll have it fixed before you know it. So you met the boy. Did he tell you his story? He babbles when he's nervous. Should his father be among the conscripts, as he hopes, I mean to give him the choice to leave this life, if he so chooses. I expect you to see that they are provided for. I've heard that those who joined the Confederacy forswear all ties with kin and homeland. Is that so easily put aside? If I allow it. I see in him the lad I was 25 years ago. You say the words, you mean them, but the yearning for home still lingers. My family is long dead, and I know this life is my lot, but he has scarce dipped his toes with us. If there's a life for him in Doma, then he should have a chance to live it. Well said. The Empire's conquest has uprooted many and more. Be it in Yangsha or out on the Ruby Sea, we have a duty to ensure that Inashi and others like him are free to dwell where they desire. Parents of people that sold her, for sure. There's a reason everyone else, or she's just being irrational. Because her parents were Doman, and then she got sold into a brothel, essentially. So, years of sexual abuse. I forget if there's anything more specific than that. Be in Yangsha or out on the Ruby Sea of duty ensure, yeah. Matter is settled and make preparations to cast off. Well, my friends, it seems we have our ship. Let's return to the Enclave. God, can I just... Can't God. Don't want Enclave. Yeah, is it not... Cayenne Con. I keep saying Cayenne Con, because just reading it, it makes me think that that's what it is. Seems Yuri and Alphino completed their task before us. They have been waiting. We scouted the structure to determine the swiftest path to safety. In the event of hostilities, we'll lead the conscripts outside with all possible haste. From there, the Confederacy has pledged a ship to ferry us across the One River. Now we have but to attend the exchange and pray to the Kami these precautions were unnecessary. While we were putting our contingency plans into place, I left Haruko in charge of organizing transport for the Imperial prisoners. He will see they arrive at the appointed hour, leaving us free to rendezvous with our Confederate allies. Come, they wait for us on a riverbank, not far from the castrum. Is there a store around here? Shop? There are no shops in the Doman Enclave. Well, I'll go to Namai then. And also, you'd think that she'd want revenge on her brother, too. Because, like, her family was fine with her, like her family, like, actually treated her brother well. Oh, I can actually... There's a bunch of stuff in here that I can actually use. Oh, I got the wind-up alpha! I forgot about that. Oh my god. The achievement for collecting minions is called Despicable You. I don't like that. Can I just double click? No. Ooh, exponential entropy. I didn't realize I had music for that. Cool. If I ever get a house, my room is gonna be bumping. If I ever get a house. Which I very much probably never will. What does the faded copy of certain songs mean? Okay, now I actually got 5. Zero. Why do I have these again? Okay. All right, I've got space in my inventory now. I should probably still sell some stuff. Let's see. Oh, I can't sell those. There's a lot of stuff in here I can't sell. Okay. Well, I will at least sell my log and silver pieces. Okay. Anyway, back to story stuff. Where are we going again? Confederate skipper in the Glittering Basin. We're ready in what lies ahead. I trust. Let there be any confusion. Lest there be any confusion, though, the tower across the water is to be the scene of the exchange. That and whatever else Asahi has planned. Regardless of the ambassador's intentions, we will bring our people home. Yugiri, you are to evacuate the conscripts at the first sign of trouble. Yes, my lord. We, meanwhile, shall cover the escape and lend what support we can. Your ship awaits you at the Castrum's loading docks. She will see you safely home. And all stand ready to play their part. Come, let's be about it. Alright, well, I'm not going into an instance, so...
At last, the hour has come. The conclusion to these negotiations will mark a new beginning for Dorma and the Empire. A first step on the road to peaceful coexistence.
Indeed. We are ready to proceed with the exchange when you are. Forgive my curiosity, Ambassador, but is there a purpose to these containers you bring with you?
Oh, the supply crates. They are filled with materials we hoped might be of use in Dorma's restoration. I meant to gift them to you at our last meeting, but we had so much else to discuss.
How very generous. I confess I had not expected such compassion, welcome though it is. But then I was also surprised by the news that one of our captives had delivered herself into your custody ahead of time. A minor discrepancy I shall overlook in the spirit of the occasion.
Are you perhaps referring to me, Lord Hien?
Yotsuyu.
Orphan of the Nairi, widow of Sashihai, and acting viceroy of Doma. You and your people are mine to govern, mine to punish.
Well, well. It would seem your shattered mind is mended. As per our agreement with the ambassador, you are free to return with him to the Empire. Your authority as acting viceroy, however, is no longer recognized here.
My position is not for you to decide, little lordling. All who resist the rule of the Empire must be purged. Such was the order given to me by Lord Xenos himself. I will reign here in this putrid, pestilent swamp until the last of you has been broken. This land shall know no dawn. I will spew forth darkness and drown all in eternal night. And high above you I shall shine, uncaring, cold and distant as the moon!
Oh, she's doing a summoning. Oh man, Empire sure does hate summoning, doesn't it?
What has she done?
Oh gods, this is a summoning.
Maybe we should, like, attack her now while she's mid-transformation sequence? Look, when people start screaming about something religion and there's a bunch of crystals and shiny things are happening, that's when you attack them. You don't wait. We don't Dragon Ball Z this. You just go for it.
A Dorman citizen has called forth an icon in direct violation of our primary agreement. The negotiations have failed. Abandon the captives and make preparations to withdraw.
You motherfucker.
Ambassador! Disobey me, Pilus, and you disobey the Emperor. Make preparations to withdraw! Now!
As you command.
My lord, you must fall back!
You ask me to run?
A strategic withdrawal.
Spare my pride, would you? I know this foe is beyond me. The field is yours. We will withdraw, but not without our countrymen. I want every soul accounted for. Every soul!
My lord,
Don't worry, I'm not alone. I'm going to get...
I knew you would not flee. I see now the strength which flows from that baleful light of yours. But I am become Tsukuyomi, goddess of the moon and divinity of night. What power can compare to such celestial majesty?
A big rock told me I'm a good boy.
I shall plunge all I despise into darkness. And within that black abyss, even your light shall flicker and fail. Come, let us cast the stalks and look upon the fate of Dorma. I see a future in which the sun sets on this wretched land. Once and for all!
Alright, hey Yotsuyu, I know you've got revenge and stuff that you're thinking about, like, but I just remembered, like, it's a huge bitch, but I just remembered that, like, I haven't done my daily packpot at the Golden Saucer, so if you'll excuse me for just a sec, can you just vengeance on hold for 1 minute? Okay, cool. Let's just where's the mini cackpot? Hello. Yeah. Okay. This is a mini cackpot calculator. This is cackpot solver. The center has a 1 in it. This has a 5 in it. This one has a 6 in it. This one has a 9 in it. Which means that the middle is my best option. Cool. Also, hi Ulu, do you want to come kill Yandere with me? This one? This one's a 9. So that means this is the best one. 72, dang. Really good profits today. Let's see. 9. This one's a 4. This one's a 5. And this one's a 1. Which means the bottom one. Okay. Let me hop in stream chat. Hello.
evening.
I'm still on Diabolos. I haven't bothered returning.
I'm already on.
Okay, cool.
That's why I've been working on chandeliers and bookshelves. It's because it's the only thing I can really do right now.
Okay. Let's see. Where's here we go. I'm literally already here. Literally triple triads right here. Okay, cool.
Can do some triple triad while you're
Yeah,
here.
just like, you know, she can wait. It's like, girl, I need to play some triple triad. Have you tried playing triple triad? Like, maybe it would give you your life some fulfillment.
Well, yeah.
Can you just be like the like a normal people, and when you get depressed, you just get really into gambling? Like,
Yeah, true.
yeah,
true.
just... okay. Deck number 1, sure. 3 open. I don't know what this rule set means.
It means both players have 3 cards revealed.
Oh, okay. Does it tell me which cards they've... I guess it doesn't matter what cards I have revealed.
Yeah, no, it just shows you 3 of theirs.
Because it's a robot. Oh. Slap you down. I'll pick you and slap you down here. Oh, and it requires me to play my stuff in order. Okay.
Yeah.
God, I have nothing that can... Right there? Okay. God, he is locking me out here. Nah? Okay, there we go. Hiya. And that's a draw. Okay, cool. Let's try it. Let's try this again. Okay, so he's got a 3 and a 2 on the... once again, put Eorzea there in the corner. Really wild, the Scions just let their likenesses be used in a trading card game. Okay, I'll slap you down right here. I'll slap you down right here. Yeah! Okay. Okay. And we'll again put Eorzea. Wait. Oh, I can play whichever one I want. Okay, cool. Who? I have nothing bigger than a 7 on the bottom, so I will still put Eorzea in the corner. Damn. Wait, how did you flip him? We're not... I have no way to flip him back. And that would be a bad... What's the A mean again?
A equals ace. It beats 10, or is it 10s? It's either 9. It beats the highest number.
But can
it beats the highest number.
Okay. Well, then I'll set you down there.
No, I guess it would be 9s. That would make sense.
Wait,
It's all
combo.
single.
Hey. Okay, I'll try this again. Okay, we will slap you down here in the corner. Actually, I probably should have done a flip. Well, it'll be right here. Oh, I don't have any good spots to place you. I'll put you right here. Yeah! There we go. Cool. That's... Nope, there's another guy. Jones of the Three Spades. Okay. All open. Okay. Again, I shall put Urianger in the corner.
Ooh, all open and same.
What's same do?
If two sides match the same number, a same happens, which means they auto capture and then also initiates a combo, which is any newly captured cards will then do a check on all cards surrounding it and capture if it has a greater number. And this will repeat until there's no more left.
Oh. That could be a problem.
So, for instance, like if 2 5s are next to each other.
Okay, I was worried he was gonna use the demon wall. Let's try this. Wait, what? I did a 7 underneath that and it didn't flip it. I thought that was how sames worked.
It has to be 2 sides at the same time.
Oh.
So the reason why the demon wall worked was because it matched the 6s with the 2s.
Okay. Also, Silver, how dare you? Let's see.
And then also to explain plus, by the way, it's effectively the same rule as same, except the sides have to add up to be the same. So like an 8 and a 3 on one side and a 4 and a 7 on the other side would count as a plus. Because they both add up to be the same number.
There we go. Got him. Okay.
Those are the 2 tricky rules of Triple Triad.
Oh, he doesn't even have a thing over his head anymore. Oh no, I can.
Yeah, the symbols over Triple Triad players is a star means you've beaten them but haven't collected everything. If they don't have anything over their head anymore, it means you've beaten them and have collected all cards that they would be able to give you.
Oh, okay.
So it's a way to denote.
I guess I'll fight him again then. Yeah. So plus is just the sides have to add up to be the same?
Yeah, 2 sides have to add up to be the same. So
8 plus 3 is 11, and 4... Oh, I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
okay.
And then combo just means all cards will then check its neighbors to see if it has a greater side and then capture, and then it repeats.
Okay. Yeah. Average wait time 9 minutes. It's been 9 minutes. How dare they lie to me? Have they ever added new stuff to... I actually really like this guy's robes.
To Gold Saucer or to Triple Triad?
To the prizes to the Gold Saucer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, we're going to be getting an update sooner rather than later. Spoiler alert, Fall Guys is coming to Final Fantasy XIV.
Fall Guys?
Fall Guys. No, legit, like, it's an actual crossover with Fall Guys.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, to be like most of the what you call them, the not fates, they have a funny
Gates,
yeah, they're just Fall Guys. I asked because I have a whole bunch of MGP.
Oh yeah, I mean the most expensive prizes are like the Blackjack for 4 million, or the Senior Sabotender mount, or Fenrir for 1 mil. There's a Cloud Strife Triple Triad card for like 1 mil or 2. So like, it'll be a while before you probably get like everything from Gold Saucer.
Oh, I can.
There are some equipment, like some glamour options if you want to like get some unique items.
I'm looking at some of the stuff they got.
But they like tend to
kinda cute.
update. They tend to update it like at least once in expansion.
Halicarnassus' sword. Okay, I have less MGP than I thought that I did.
Yeah, 90k is not a lot. You can, if you actively farm like your weeklies for Gold Saucer, you can get around 200,000 a week. And if you're wondering where your weeklies are, it's under Logs Challenge Log, and at the very bottom it's Gold Saucer stuff. Completing those will give you additional MGP for clearing every week.
Doublet. Yeah, I already got the slops. I already got the pig. That's why I got all the pig stuff, and then I was like, there's no point anymore.
Oh, well then I know which reputation faction you're gonna have to clear because they give you a pig mount.
It's in Endwalker, right?
Shadowbringers.
Oh, okay. Claws of the Beast. Oh, okay. It's the same pig minion that I got, right?
Same species, yeah.
I'm just aware that, like, I was looking up, when I was originally looking at, for my Deck of Many Things deck, I was debating making the commander a proxy of Ezel. And I was Googling it, and the thing that popped up was Ezel 2, who is also a Porksy. And, like, I think, the person who owns them has to do with that beast tribe, which I like the implication that Ezel exists. Oh, the angel wings. Wait, is that you can't wear this? It's not a.
It's a fashion accessory. Those are different than cosmetics.
So you can wear them, though.
You can, but they function differently. Fashion accessories are in this weird middle area of, like, while you're out in the open, you can have them, but when you're, like, in combat or anything like that, they're turned off.
Oh, I see.
So, those are, like, fake glasses, wings, and then umbrellas / parasols.
A bunch of orchestration, a bunch of furniture for houses that I'll never own. Do you have a house?
On Hyperion, yeah. And I also am in a FC that has a house. My house is not furnished or anything in any particular way. I need to work on that eventually, but lower priority compared to like farming something out. Cliffhanger is available. I shall go do that while we wait. Because that is worth like a couple thousand MGP.
Where do we...
It's to the north.
Mount Curl? The round square?
Yeah, the round square. Just look for the special icon real fast and talk to them.
Rescue the Chocobo chick?
Yep, and then we just climb up to the top, dodging the bombs. It's a pretty easy jaunt. Just dodge the bombs. If they're not glowing orange, you can generally run by them pretty easily.
Ah, shit.
If you get knocked down, just talk to the person again, they'll set you back up.
I didn't get knocked down, I just jumped down.
Mm-hmm. We're almost there.
God,
Just a
just
couple
love
more
when,
jumps.
when you go to Vegas and they try and murder you. Hang on.
Just
Hang on,
rescue that
Yotsuyu, I got a thing going on here. Hang on a second.
Hey, you did it.
Yay! Okay, cool. Anyway, let's go kill Yotsuyu or whatever the fuck.
We rescued the Chocobo, now to go kill a moon goddess, right?
Yep.
Oh.
I can fix her extreme! I love it.
It's going to be a long
The main mechanic try to see your screen through the stinging water.
These are the fans. We just have to make sure you're not in them, so... And then we're stepping in once the AoE disappears. Move.
And before a summoner vehemently tries to summon Yotsuyu.
Apparently they thought about, like, giving summoners, customization options with, like, to summon, other Primal's Eggies, but it just, like, never came out.
That would be neat. Like, look,
Stack.
I want to summon Grandpa. I do find it interesting that neither Alphino nor Alizé decides to be a summoner, despite the fact that their grandpa is like, hey, I'm a primal, and you could theoretically summon me. And they're both just like, nah, we don't need to see Grandpa ever again. She just wants people to make her angry.
Yeah, so what she's realizing is the primal in question feeds off of a negative emotion. So by summoning these specters of her past, of things that cursed her to a certain extent, she's hoping that it will empower her to be able to destroy us.
It really is I can fix her all extreme.
And then here's Xenos.
Ah, power of friendship.
Okay. Be careful with this next mechanic, by the way.
What next mechanic?
Just... the floor is going to change colors. Don't panic too much. Okay, just play this kind of safe. Okay. So we're going to get stacking debuffs. You can't let it get too high. Once you get a stack, you need to switch over to the other side to gauge the other color. And then dodge. Stack. Okay, we can swap.
I just gotta be moving a lot.
You just have to move between the colors. If you get too much of one side, it dooms you and you die immediately. That's the tank mechanic. And these are the fans again. There's a stack. I'm just gonna move in. Stack, it's an Ockmorn, just stay stacked for a few hits. Dodge.
Oh, I'm...
You have 3 bravery medals on you, which is not good.
What does that mean?
You have 3 vulnerability ups, which means you're taking heavy increased damage at the moment.
Oh.
People sometimes joke about them being bravery medals.
Oh. Well, that went up to 5. Oh, we're both dead.
Yeah, I was the only one who stacked on your lunacy. And then I immediately paid for it. We did it!
Yay! she's probably fine. No, yeah, Ren. I mean, it doesn't even, the Summoner Quest implies that, like, Bahamut fucked up Eorzea so bad that just being in Eorzea means that you can probably summon Bahamut, because it's sort of radioactive with Bahamut energy. But also, yes, the twins were there when, their grandpa died, so they also probably can summon him that way, too. But I would imagine it would be the same for Phoenix if I wanted to try and summon Phoenix.
Just keep leveling, forehead.
Yeah, you do actually get a Phoenix summon, don't you?
You do.
Ooh.
It's the level 80 skill, I think. Yes, 80.
Is it Asahi? Yep. You were evacuating. Why don't I... Can I just break out of the cutscene and punch him in the face?
You really must learn to finish the job. 'Tis true that a gaudy mirror and a handful of crystals make for a feeble summoning. But even the weakest icon is a god of sorts. A threat that must be put down. My, such hostility! These beings are the sworn enemies of the Empire. I merely did my duty as an Imperial officer. Will you surrender to anger, then? Slay an anointed emissary to avenge a fallen foe?
Ha! You cannot, of course! To do so would burn the bridges we have labored so hard to build.
You already said those bridges were burned, asshole.
Oh, but I'm forgetting. They're already ash.
Exactly.
This Dorman woman has seen to that. The Empire cannot ally itself with any nation that refuses to renounce summoning. I believe I was most clear on that point.
We can't be allied with any nation that endorses crime. If there's at least one criminal, it's cut. Can't do it.
It should have been mine. The power he bestowed upon her. I should have been the one to govern Dorma. I would have repaid his faith.
No one alive loves him more than I!
Absolutely a yandere. It just runs in the family.
Instead, this harlot betrayed his trust. Useless piece of filth! Worthless whore!
Thank you, dear brother, for this precious gift. Vengeance.
Oh no, she's killing him.
These people, our people.
I mean, that solves like one or two issues.
Yeah.
Beneath the surface. Cast aside that which is dirty and broken. Speak not of things which would disrupt their dreary little lives. Like you, Asahi. Always pretending not to see. You were the first. The first I swore to kill. Such bliss. I had thought my hunger insatiable. But now I am satisfied.
I endorse fratricide. Like, you go, girl. Like, why kill random strangers? Just kill your parents who are assholes. Sounds great. Sounds like a great plan.
You should feel honored, dear brother.
Just for a correction real fast, the two parents that she killed weren't her parents. They were
just
aunt and uncle.
For you.
Her actual parents died, like, long ago. She's an orphan.
Look, point being, murder.
True.
Family murder. Oh no, he is dead. I guess I should try and do everything to save him. Oh no, my magic. I'm all out of ether after that fight. Oh no.
Oh no, this is
Oh, no,
exactly
I can't.
like...
What's the matter?
This is exactly like Harshiphon. It seems the wound is afflicted with ether. I won't be able to heal it in time.
Oh no! I can't do anything about it. Gosetsu will mourn you.
He will mourn to you, perhaps. I wonder, was the fruit as sweet as he remembered?
Lord Xenos.
Plot headache.
Lord Xenos. I am at your disposal.
Asai, you were born of Doma, yes?
Yes, my lord. I am honored that you would remember me. How may I serve?
What do we do with his body after he, like...
You are hereby appointed Ambassador Plenipotentiary, and empowered to speak with the voice of the Emperor. Return to your native land of Doma, and announce your intention to sue for peace.
For peace?
Once negotiations are underway, you are to locate the acting Viceroy.
She lives? That is to say, I will, my lord.
When you have found her, you will initiate a ritual to call forth an icon. I will instruct you in the necessary steps. Yotsuyu's faith is unreliable, but as a child raised to believe in the Kami, she will serve as a vessel for one of the Kojin's gods. She need only wish it to be so. The power will seem a gift, but the icon's essence will consume her. She will be no more than a husk, A slave to whim and desire.
My lord, ever since the day you saw fit to save my miserable life, I have dreamed of repaying your benevolence. Upon my honor, I swear to devote myself wholly to your service. All that you command will be done, no matter the cost. But I fear the subtleties of your plan yet elude me. From the reports I have heard, the champion who aids the Doman resistance would make short work of a single icon.
The icon is merely a message. The pacifist teachings of the Populares spread through this city like a plague. And I would remind the people of the threat we face. You will be my chosen agent. The hand which tolls the warning bell. The salvation of this world will not be won through the signing of treaties.
Your chosen agent.
Oh, Senpai, he noticed me.
I will not fail you, my lord. My master, Lord Xenos, he will come for you.
I already killed him once, my dude. I can do it again. I mean, I thought I killed... I mean, I beat him up, and then he killed himself, but he failed to kill himself. Wow, Gosetsu got here fast.
She is gone? Wherefore did the Kami spare us, only to inflict this pain?
Death shall not want for company this day. You spared us a worse disaster, but I fear our fledgling peace with the Empire was beyond saving.
Lord Hien!
Yes. You were a random backroom minion, but you had a name,
Maxima,
therefore we're
is it not? I assumed you long fled.
I entertain thoughts of escape even now, but our negotiations have yet to reach a satisfying conclusion. The ambassador insisted that the summoning spelled an end to our mission here, but it seemed to me there was more to the tale.
Xenos was behind this plot.
I have heard tell of this power you wield. And in your vision, you witnessed Lord Xenos giving these orders.
And how can that be? Xenos is dead. He took his own life after the battle in Alamigo. I saw his body with my own eyes.
Yeah, what do we do with the body afterwards?
Forgive me, but Lord Xenos is very much alive. He granted our party an audience prior to our departure. That he was gravely wounded is certain, but his recovery appeared to be proceeding apace.
I'm afraid I share Lord Hien's confusion. The man's death was confirmed and his remains interred.
Okay, so we do have
These are matters of public
still.
record.
Nah, it's even as the ceiling gave out, the
I have
floor
no doubt
beneath
you
him also
believe what
gave
you
out, and he
say.
fell into the river.
But what then is the explanation? That an impostor has infiltrated the innermost circle of the Imperial Court? The idea is inconceivable, absurd. But worthy of investigation nonetheless. Our movement can ill afford to have a highly placed pretender undermining our efforts.
Your efforts may yet bear fruit. Tell me, what is to become of our
Something
prisoner exchange?
inconceivable.
Though we have already taken custody of our conscripts, we have yet to release your Imperial comrades. Do you still intend to collect them?
Yes. As the late Ambassador's second in command, it falls to me to speak on the Empire's behalf. And I'm happy to confirm our intent to proceed according to the original agreement.
Then let us be about it. 'Twould be a pity to abandon such a promising beginning.
Indeed. You have my thanks, Lord Hien. As soon as our people are secure aboard our airship, we shall depart straightways for Garlemald.
Tread lightly, Pilus. I sense treachery awaits you there.
Might I accompany you to the capital?
I was gonna say, is Alphino gonna go to Garlemald? Dang, okay.
Alphino, have you gone mad?
Don't worry, he'll be fine. I saw him in the Dawn Trail trailer.
Imposter or no, if Xenos was instructing Asahi on the finer points of ritual summoning, then experience tells us there is an Ascian waiting in the wings. Without our knowledge and expertise, our new friends will be hard-pressed to contend with a foe for whom death is but a minor inconvenience. They need our help.
Were you indeed willing to share your knowledge of this enemy, we would not shun your counsel.
You truly mean to do this? In full knowledge of the danger?
I have seen the Warrior of Light risk his life on countless occasions. Next to him, I'm scarce more than a distraction on the battlefield.
I forget, Alphino's like 13, right?
But in the meeting room or the audience chamber, there I can make a difference. I can strike bargains, forge ties, and change minds. And where better to do these things than in the home of our old enemy?
Alphino, remember the one time you thought you were really great at all those things, and then you accidentally created a military force that was pulled out from under you and was part of an entire conspiracy to throw us down? Just saying.
No.
Like...
Listen here.
I forgot. Okay, I just want to double check how old Alphino is. I think it was like... Okay, he's 16. Okay. That's more... I thought at some point he was like 14. I remember being like, damn, he's a baby at one point. Also, I mean, we are in a strange Pokemon time bubble where no one's going to age, but they're not going to comment on exactly how long all of this plot has taken. Clearly, we need to also send Tataru. Yes! This is your moment, because the game won't let me tell you to have it not be your moment. Why don't you send me? I can fast travel back to Limsa Labinza if I need to.
But I would have you consider an alternative arrangement. Rather than braving the Empire as a simple traveler, go forth as an emissary of Doma. Such a position should offer you some measure of protection.
Go then. You've obviously made up your mind. Just try not to do anything reckless, all right?
I shall be on my best behavior. Farewell, my friends.
Alphino, you impulsive fool. I thought about trying to talk him out of it, but I know that I know what I would say if the roles were reversed. Stubbornness is something of a family trait. Gosetsu dragged himself here from the sickbed only to be greeted by the sight of Yosuyu's corpse. I had not the words to confront him. I knew Asahi was planning some manner of treachery, but a summoning? Thank the kami you were here, my friend. None of us would have escaped Yotsuyu's vengeance had you not intervened. She was a pawn, aye, but she still had a choice, and she chose to submit to the ambassador's plan. 'Tis little wonder Gosetsu departed in silence. I gather he left the same way he came, alone aboard a rowing boat, and for the conscripts, most made it to the Sekibune before the battle began in earnest, but the vessel yet waits at the riverbank for those who do not flee in time. Then I suggest we put this doleful place behind us and make for the Enclave together. 'Twould be a shame to miss the joyous reunion. I am happy that the story is like, no, yeah, there are people in Garlemald who aren't crazy. It is nice to have a nuanced country of people who aren't all just sociopaths.
How often have I imagined this moment? Thank you for helping it come to pass.
Ah, there you are.
Ah, shaved his head.
Gosetsu, your hair.
My friend, what have you done?
An old man who cannot raise his blade has no place in the service of a young lord. Thus did I decide to devote my remaining days to pilgrimage. I will walk this land, offering prayers of repose for all the souls who left this life in suffering.
People died in Gosetsu dances. When will he stop dancing?
All of them?
Safe travels.
A fulsome farewell makes for an enjoyable journey.
Scarcely have we said our goodbyes to Alphino, and you leave us too. But 'tis well that my companions find their own way forward. I must endeavor to do the same.
I have faith that you will find the best path for Doma without me, my lord. Pray forgive me this last act of selfishness, and grant me your blessing.
You have earned it 1,000 times over. Go in peace, my friend. I shall make of Doma a land where children laugh and none need live in fear.
There is no better way to honor those who went before. And with that, I take my leave.
No, yeah, Ren, I get it. It definitely makes sense that, like, you just see the psychos from Garlemald because they're the only ones who, like, are interacting with people. But, like, it is nice to see things nuanced. I'm also interested, like, I get this feeling that they might touch on it at some point, but, like, one of the things I liked about the end, like, the comics from the end of, Avatar: The Last Airbender, is it dealt with the fact that, like, Fire Nation citizens had moved into the Earth Kingdom and were living there for, like, there were people from the Fire Nation who lived in the Earth Kingdom their entire lives, so when they're like, well, it's time for everybody to leave, there's so many who are like, we've never lived in the Fire Nation, we can't, like, move out. And so far there hasn't really been a lot of talk about, like, the fact that there are clearly Garleans who settled here who are, like, there have to be Garleans who settled here who are not in the army, who would theoretically still have lives here, and they haven't really touched on that yet. And I'm kind of curious if they're just gonna gloss over it, or if they will make a point of, like, hey, people from Garlemald are still around. Because, like, you had issues where, like, people from the Fire Nation, like, married Earth Kingdom citizens and started a family, and it made actual decolonization difficult. So I'm interested in if that ever gets brought up. Fair journey to you, my friend. Bittersweet occasion, there's yet ample cause to be grateful. Pray join us in the Kayan Khan. I would thank you properly. Also, I am curious about the finer nuances of this whole summoning a primal, but the primal is you nonsense, because that's happened a couple of times. And, like, they never explained exactly why it was bad that Ysel was turning into Shiva, because she was still herself when she was Shiva. So, like, I'm interested in them to potentially go a bit more in depth there at some point. Because I'm sure it's bad, but they haven't really made a good argument for why we just aren't doing that. Our brothers and sisters are returned to us, and the dream of Doma's restoration is much closer to being realized. It's a day that will live in memory, and one that would have never been dawned without the courageous action of the Scions. On behalf of Doma and her people, we give you our deepest thanks. Lest you think me complacent, I assure you I have not forgotten the dark cloud on the horizon. That Xenos lives is a source of grave concern, mayhap the gravest. Yet there is little to be done but wait for Alphino to send word. Until then, I plan to devote myself to fulfilling the promise I made to Gosetsu, by building a nation in which none will need to live in fear. I confess I miss him already, but the thought that he has at last found peace goes some way to softening the blow. I wonder, did you ever stop to ask yourself why he showed Yotsuyu such kindness? I believe the answer lies in past tragedy, specifically the death of his wife and daughter during the invasion. Though he hid it well, they were never far from his thoughts, and in Yotsuyu's childlike mind, I believe he saw not a fallen tyrant, but a little girl who was lost to him. That they're limited to 3, but I'm such a swole Aether boy that I can summon more. Well, just don't summon Garuda and Titan. Just get Bahamut. He's cooler anyway. After the loss of his family, Gosetsu devoted himself wholly to the service of his country. He suffered any hardship, strove beyond the limits of endurance without hesitation or complaint. Though Tsuyu could never truly replace his daughter, I had hoped that, with her at her side, he might live out the remainder of his days in relative contentment. Would that the Kami had been so minded. Even now I labor to discern any meaning in Yotsuyu's fate. To deliver her from certain death with no memory of her sins, only to leave her at the mercy of her stepbrother. Can that truly have been their will? That I cannot tell you. The will of the Kami is not for us to know. But what I do know is that for a brief moment, a girl known as Tsuyu lived among us. And then she was very sus. And she brought with her a whisper of respite for a grieving heart. Also, have they... Do we know, like, what's the range on Link Pearls? Like, can Alphino just use those to, like, send us messages from all the way in Garlemald? They didn't really, like, detail how our magic cell phones work. I think it's time that we got going, don't you? We've done all we can here, and we have a lot to report. But before we head back to the Rising Stones, let's call in at Ralger's Reach. We should be the ones to tell Lise about Xenos. After everything we went through together, we owe her that. Missing Alice, you're back. No Alphino? It's good to see you, Lise. As for my headstrong brother, he's off on what will almost certainly turn out to be a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Garlemald. It's a long story, but we have evidence that Xenos might still be alive. But that's... if that's a joke, gods, this better be a joke. I know what I saw, right? We all saw it. And you're saying that he's alive and well and living the high life back in Garlemald? I know how ludicrous that sounds. I'm still having difficulty believing it myself. But while I might doubt the word of an Imperial envoy, I'm inclined to trust Missings. He saw the Crown Prince through the Echo in a meeting that could only have taken place in the recent past. Xenos is alive. It must have been, I don't know, some kind of really convincing imposter. Xenos is dead. He had a great big hole in his neck. We buried him. Hi. And someone went to the trouble of desecrating the bastard's grave, remember? Thal's gilded halls. Whatever are you talking about? That's why the attempt to get Rama fails, because you already had 3. I see. What brings you to Reach? Alphino had me lending a hand at the Saltillery, keeping an eye on the rebuilding work and so on, just up until operations were up and running. And now that they are, I thought I might look in on you before winding my weary way back to headquarters. Forgive me if I misheard, but there's some suggestion the late Crown Prince could have gotten better. If so, I might suggest a quick look inside his coffin as our first order of business. As much as I hate the man, it doesn't feel right defiling his grave, but if it will put this room to rest, I suppose I'll have to do. And when there are no curious eyes about, if we can manage it. He's buried up in blood how in the locks. His grave was set apart from the others and left unmarked so as not to upset the locals. And it shouldn't be too hard to find. You're in charge until I get back. Yeah. I have not been over here. Zed. Gods, you'd better be in there. Someone scrawled all over the stone a while ago, but I had it scrubbed off and thought no more about it. So, no one would have thought to check the coffin if the coffin was still occupied? Well then, we are presented with but one course of action, and we had best be sure we're not observed in the doing of it. Shall we begin?
Oh dear. We seem to be missing a corpse.
Whoops. God, hiccups.
Well, it must be somewhere. I only hope it isn't walking around.
It is Eorzea. I've already seen it. Is that a Stinian? Is it racist of me to think that all brooding-looking Elezen are potentially Estinian in disguise?
It could be, for all you know.
There's no corpse, then. Are we to conclude that... Not necessarily. We must still be dealing with we might still be dealing with a doppelganger of some kind. An agent could have been sent to dispose of the body in a bid to lend credence to the tale of Xenos' resurrection. More and more, however, I find myself siding with Alphino's theory of Ascian possession. Speaking from experience, I can tell you they have no qualms about taking a living host, let alone a dead one. So you're saying an Ascian is walking around in Xenos' body? That seems a distinct possibility. Once I have put his grave back the way we found it, I shall pay a visit to the people responsible for interring the Crown Prince. Before leaping to any conclusions, I want to know for sure if the body was ever buried here, and how certain we are that Xenos was properly dead. If he wasn't, that was some trick. He as good as cut off his own head off. Anyway, Raubon needs to hear about this. If you find anything out, send word to me at Relger's Reach. I don't know why I'm surprised with the matter settling down in Doma. We were due for another crisis. Shall we make for the Rising Stones then? It's past time we share these developments with the others. While I was waiting for you to arrive, I spoke with Eorzea over Link Pearl and gave him a full report. Y'shtola is on her way. She should be ready. Ah! It is good to see you safe and well. What news have you from the east? Stirring developments indeed. Given all that we know, I too would conclude that an Ascian now inhabits Xenos' body. A doppelganger might fool the Crown Prince's subordinates, but missing? Nay, Alphino has the right of it. Would that his wisdom extends to the question of his own safety. Capable though he has become, he ventures alone into the enemy stronghold, and the shadowy web of the Paragons, but like it is not. When it comes to making rash decisions, I'm hardly in a position to criticize, but I'm worried. I just wish there was something I could do for him besides pray. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace... I cannot suffer icons to exist. Was I not clear on this point? More than clear. The icon in question was summarily dispatched by the Warrior of Light. The summoner is dead and the rite beyond repeating. Everything proceeded according to plan, every party behaving exactly as was required. My methods may seem extreme, but there is no cause for concern. I work only to ensure the salvation of this star. "100% Ascian." Ooh, where is this?
You've seen there.
Oh, what are you doing with this thing? Oh, this is Alamiga. Ask your question, soldier.
It's the castrum.
Okay. Salvation of the Star might as well be code for definitely an Ascian. Yep. Nope, that's not a Stinian. He doesn't have a spear. What are you? Have you lost your mind? Oh no, not Rogadin Soldier. Who's my favorite? I've lost many things, my mind is yet my own. Where upon the stage I stood, prepared to take my final bow, only to find that the finale was but an intermission. Shall I use this chance to repent for my sins, embrace goodness and mediocrity? Nay, I think not. While the one I yearn to face yet lives, the hunt must go on. Okay, so Xenos is in the body of a random Elysian man. And he still has no chill. Yay! That sure felt like the end of a patch cycle of quests to me. Oh, I get the ponder remote! I can ponder orbs after this! Okay, we gotta do this.
Okay, that was...
It's been an eventful few days, hasn't it? But I suppose all we can do now is wait for word from Alphino. I don't recall the last time I had nothing pressing to be getting on with. We probably should make the most of it. Shall I put on some tea? Alice, do you want to learn how to play Triple Triad? Tea would be lovely if you regale me with a tale of your adventures in the Far East and of your encounter with this new primal especially. Put the kettle on then. That table looks free if you'd like to take a seat.
Actually, before you go to that quest, Novice, that is actually the breaking point that I would recommend doing some side stuff at this point.
So like the Ivalice raids and the Auspicious Encounter raids?
Yes, I would, those trials, yeah. I would recommend doing those now. 3.3 was, or sorry, not 3.3. 4.3, that was the quest cycle that you just did. Is basically, that's the end of Stormblood. So now would be the time in between
the pre-Shadowbringers now.
Yeah.
Sure. Let me actually, I'm gonna ping Jen and Alan and see if they want to hop in.
So yeah, you resolved the last of the things that Stormblood had, and now things are kind of picking up for the next expansion.
Yeah. So Auspicious Encounter is the trials, not the Ivalice raids.
Yes, the Alliance raids start in Kugane.
Okay.
There should be a new blue quest in there. The quest starts with... Return to Evil. The quest is called Dramatis Personae.
Okay. I'm going to see if other friends wish to join, and also maybe stop and grab a snack before continuing for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'll take this opportunity to BRB and get myself some food, and then I'll be back.
Okay. I'll probably make a few chandeliers or something.
Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Until you feel the vibes and touch the sky. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Until you feel the vibes and touch the sky. On a Sunday morning, I touch the sky. Next morning, I touch your heart. Was the start. I play my role when I rip the mic apart. Do what I got to do to place a spark. I'ma put it down, seeking no crown anymore. From the moment I saw you, it's all gone. Hard to believe to a chick like me. Used to have several wins every day of the week. Every time I put that behind. Said I'm sorry, I got to go. From the sideline to the man I am high. To the place no human has ever even tried. So I got to go, I got to go. All I want is for you to stay. Man at the grave resurrected. Now he's connected. No concession, just embedded by you. Huh, yeah. Take a deep breath. Let it go. Follow my lead. No doubt about that. It's a brand new day. I gotta tell you one thing. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Until you feel the vibes sky. I won't deny that I used to play. Young days have done things that I can't even say. Time to make up my day. God, it's so hard to regulate till I met her yesterday. I was the dirt and you're the purifier. I'm the gasoline while you're the fire. Keep it on the DL, no quiet, which makes you want to talk like Esquire. I don't want a partial, want the entire. Buy any jewels from gold to sapphire. Cracks and jokes, sometimes satire. We'll be careful not to get you damn tired. Making sure that'll take you higher. When we have a baby, we'll be in a triad. That's what makes me most inspired. I hope the same goes for you, baby girl. Touch the sky.
robot and I'm challenging you. I'm never better, I'm in your face and I'm here, see it through. Right before your eyes, watch us multiply. Come to claim a right, it's time. As the power grows, try to stop the show. Life is worth a trust of time. So you know that we're out there, swatting noise in the making. Can't look past without breaking. Can't hold in life won't change. I know it was.
I return.
Welcome back.
Jen and Alan have not responded, so I'm assuming that they are busy or doing a sleep thing like normal people do.
What's that?
I don't know what sleep is. I'm going to Kugane. Said it is Dramatis Personae. There it is.
Yeah. But yeah, this would be the time to do any of the side content from Stormblood. So if you want to do the... I believe the Wrathless event is available now?
Oh, I've absolutely got a way to do that with Jen and Alan.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
I'm just
Wandering Minstrel. Yo, are you here to have me chat with Yoshi P?
He's gonna get you more headaches. Just less of a
Is
headache.
this it? This is not the right quest. How are you enjoying the Far East with many charms? Easy place to like. Indeed, it holds many a special place in the heart. You might even say it's second home to me. I'll find myself here on my endless quest for verse. Prior to this theater chance to hear me perform and took a shine to my work, one thing led to another. Another of my songs were adapted for the stage. Such crowds they have drawn. I have since been commissioned to write new pieces for production. It's not to brag, mind you, nay, far from it, though I'm glad for the approval, and the truth is I've been struggling to summon forth the inspiration with which to fuel my creativity. Your recent exploits could well provide me with the inspiration I need. Such events you may have witnessed, such emotions experienced in your struggle to liberate Doma and Alamigo from the clutches of the Empire. Though the tales have been doing their rounds, there's no... Okay, so this is just unlocking the...
Extremes.
Which I don't really need right now. Or I will not talk to you. This man! Dramatis Personae, there we go. Oh! This is gonna explain the cool-looking airship in the port that I saw earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't always there, right? The young maiden here would speak with you.
It's been a while.
Miss, the adventurer has arrived. Here he is, liberator of Doma and Alamigo in the flesh. I'm Lena Mulira, correspondent of the Raven. You may recognize me from my expose on the secret lives of the homunculi. Enough small talk. It's not. It's something that I've been standing here since yesterday morning, on the off chance that you pass by. No, I'm here because actually, it's best you heard from Alma, but I'm an observer. Alma, come with me. I found him. Is this the adventurer of whom you spoke? Indeed it is. I beg of you, find my father. You're his only hope. It's all right, Alma. We're attracting unwanted attention. Might I suggest a change of venue? We'll wait for you in the Prima Vista. The theater barge has berth at the airship landing. As I said before, I think I better continue this conversation in the privacy of the young lady's barge. It's not that I don't trust anyone here, it's simply that I don't trust anyone here. The gate guard, Minagumo, has been instructed to look out for you. In future, please speak with him when you want to gain admission to the docks. Thank you for coming. You're probably wondering why I've summoned you to an airship, and a Garlean one at that. Allow me to explain on the shuttle. Prima Vista serves as both stage and home to the majestic Imperial Theater Company. You can keep that dirk of your in your drawers. You can keep that dirk in your drawers? No one here is a member of the Imperial Army, nor are there any spies within the troop. At least, no known spies. That doesn't mean there are no spies, it just means they're good at their job. Ask anyone who, and they will readily attest, the Majestic Imperial Theater Company are the finest practitioners of the dramatic arts to be found anywhere on the three great continents and beyond. They have admirers throughout the Empire and its territories, and even boast a sizable following in Gridania, hence my assignment to their story. It's a little known fact, outside Garlemald at least, the late Emperor was a devout patron of the arts, who supported various theater troupes in tune of much coin. Indeed, Solus was so enamored of the majestic players that he ordered the construction of this very airship, that the troupe might perform in every corner of the Empire. When his grandson took the throne, however, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Now all the theater troops are domestic. Now all theater troops, domestic and foreign, must submit their works for approval by the Central Imperial Board of Censors. If a play is deemed vulgar or inflammatory, it's banned, and the troupe denied their writs of transit. The worst offenders? They're never heard from again. This policy has effectively left playwrights with one of two options: compromise their creative integrity to curry favor with his radiance, or put down their quills altogether. The Principal of the Majestic, however, chose a third option, to express his disapproval from the new Emperor's policies obliquely in unostensibly unpolitical works. Pray forgive my earlier outburst. I am Alma Bass Lexentale, daughter of Principal Genemisen Lexentale. Mayhap you've heard of my father's latest play, the Zodiac Brave story? On the surface, an innocent retelling of a well-known Garlean fairy tale. hardly worth the censor's attention, but beneath it is something quite different, a fact the censors failed to spot when they approved the manuscript for a public performance. The play quickly became a huge success. The common folk loved its fantastical story, while the learned class appreciated its true message. By the time the Imperial Board of Censors realized their mistake, it was too late. No longer in a position to prohibit its performance outright without admitting fault, they took aim at the company's purse strings instead. Before long, noble patrons began to withdraw their support, fearing to be associated with the troupe, and in the end, they learned the learned felt compelled to feign ignorance. By bleeding the majestic of their funding, the censors robbed them of their voice. None of this has made it any clearer while you're here. Right. Allow me, Lena. Oh, hey, Sid! Is Nero here? Are you guys gonna kiss? I've known Genimus since we were students in the Magitek Academy. When I heard his daughter was in Kugane looking to enlist the aid of adventure, I felt compelled to give her your name. Sorry for not announcing myself sooner, old friend. Genimus and I were from different worlds, but that only served to fuel our friendship. Many were the nights that we would prattle on into the wee small hours, warm flagons of peated ale numbing our minds to the other's naive ideologies. Yet, no matter where our conversations began, it would invariably end with him telling me how he was going to change the Empire from the inside out. The troop was his path to the people's hearts. Even after the Empire forced him from his home, Genimus never gave up hope that his work might change the world. Also, Silver, do you wish to do the raids? I might only just do one or two. Art was ever a strain against artificial bounds and borders. Art will ever strain against artificial bounds and borders, man-made walls and misguided wars. It's in such times of uncertainty that we must needs embrace their calling and take to the skies so others might do the same. What I'm trying to say, rather poorly I concede, is that not all Garleans are hewn from the same stone. Just as there are those who pledge their lives to the Empire and would never think to question the authority of its leaders, there are those like Alma's father and myself whose love for their country does not blind them to its flaws. Still, try selling that sack of sunflower to an Alamigan or a Doman who has watched his family consumed in the flames of Magitek Reaper. That is no problem, dude. How many Eorzean adventurers do you think would leap at the opportunity to help an Imperial search for a missing father, in Garlean territory, no less? But you are different. You've seen enough to know the line between good and evil is not defined by race, color, or creed. So what say you? I would make a poor adventurer were I to shy from an adventure. Indeed. Now that you understand the nature of the task, perhaps Alma could provide some insight as to where we might begin our search. Shortly before my father disappeared, he began work on his next play, a successor to the Zodiac Brave story. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Please follow me. Through adventure and hardship, young Delita, a boy of common blood, becomes a hero, culminating the birth of the mythical kingdom of Ivalis. Evilis. That's where the story ends. There are no records of anything that follows. Was Principal Genoma simply going to invent something? My father believed that he had discovered evidence of a second hero, one whose efforts were largely unnoticed, but without whom Delita would never have risen to the throne. His is the next tale he wanted to tell, the true Zodiac Brave story. A second hero? According to my father's studies, this young man was one of Delita's closest friends and confidants. That is, until the untimely passing of Delita's sister forced the two to part ways. Yet the unnamed hero continued to provide his aid to his friend by thwarting the machinations of those who would scheme against Delita, thus paving the way for the pauper's rise to the regent. You must forgive me, but I've never heard anyone make such claims. How exactly did your father come by this information? That's a long story. One which begins and ends with Genomus becoming lost in the very legend he sought to lay bare. Even as far back as our academy days, Ivalice had Genomus firmly in his grasp. He flatly refused to believe the story was just a fairy tale. And so when he was finally driven out of the Garlemald, it was only natural that he should choose this of all places as refuge, was it not, Alna? That's correct, Master Garland. It has long been my father's belief that the ruins of ancient Ivalice lie beyond Nagsha, buried beneath the sands of the Dalmasca Desert. Poor Dalmasca. The kingdom prospered in relative isolation for countless generations until the Empire came calling. When not touring, my father would organize expeditions to the Dalmasca Desert to search for proof of Ivalice's existence. Sometimes he would bring back strange artifacts, ancient tomes, and crystals. Crystals unlike any other. My father calls them Eorzea, and claimed they were vital to proving his theories. This is one such crystal. By the 12, it's magnificent. Evolution legend tells of crystals bequeathed by the gods onto those who would be kings, stirring his quest to gather Eorzea that young Delita rises to prominence. He must have heard the tale 1,000 times from my nursemaid, but that's all it ever was, a tale. My father would often tell us how Eorzea spoke to him, and at this time I assumed he was speaking figuratively, that the stone's beauty rose his muse. But then he began to act strangely. How so? Following our arrival in Hingashi, my father spent most of his time cloistered in his chambers poring over past research, and though he was alone, we could often hear him in conversation. It was not uncommon for my father to recite lines as he wrote them, but it soon became clear that this was something else. It was as if he was talking to my mother who passed several winters gone. Might this not have been out of mere loneliness, or perhaps the strain of your flight from Garlemald? Possibly, but that would not explain the voices which answered him. Alma, who are these people? I told you I did not require any help finding father, especially from outsiders. So good of you to join us, Ramza. Allow us to introduce... I know that name. I didn't play the original Tactics, but that name... I know that name. Enough, Master Cid. We may be shunned by the Empire, but we are still Garleans, and we still have our pride, unlike some, it seems. We require neither aid nor the pity of foreign rabble. Have you forgotten where you are, brother? It is who we are... It is we who are the foreign rabble, and this land and its customs are all but unknown to us. We'd be fools not to conduct our search without a proven guide. Your sister's right, Ramza, and for my good friend here, your mistrust is ill-placed. I will personally vouch for his character. In all the time I have known him, he's never once let anything as insignificant as race or creed color his judgment. You are lucky to have him. We would have you, Master Garland. Why do you refuse us? You know why. Until this affair with Omega is resolved, my hands are tied. It's about that, Cid. It is resolved. We did already do that. Pains me more. It pains me to refuse you and your sister, but it pains me far more to leave Genomus to his fate. I'm sorry. So I should have done this one first? You need
reminder that technically the correct order is through the patch order, but there would be a lot of like start and stops in
Oh,
stories.
fair. So like the ideally, like he would still.
You would
be...
do 7.0 content, which would be like the first tier of Omega. You would then do patch content through 7.1 to do the first Evilise raid, and then you would like interweave. The order that I gave you was to minimize the number of stop gaps in between each story.
Fair, but it does make sense. This is still happening. Mid-Omega nonsense happening.
Yeah, this is happening after the first tier. So after you've completed Deltascape, this would be the time frame.
Though it is funny that he's like, I got my hands tied with Omega. It's like, technically speaking, I also have my hands tied with Omega in that case.
Yeah.
Though I mean, I guess this is the in-between patch time where he's just doing science bullshit and he doesn't need me to kill something at the moment.
Yeah, or you can say like he's still cleaning up any type of like remnants of Omega, even though he's not being like active with like the battle scenes anymore. There are workarounds that you could say are like the current situation.
Alpha and Omega came back, and he's repairing Omega for Alpha. It's taking all of his time. Mirror's expedition met with tragedy in the ruins of the capital city. He barely escaped with his life. The Empire turned Rabanasta into a death trap. You were a fool to set foot there without proper escort. I realize that now, Master Garland, but at the time, I saw an opportunity to rescue Father, and I took it. Whatever led you to believe your father was in Dalmasca's capital? Father's fascination with Evilisian legend began with a trip to the antediluvian city long before the war. Call it a premonition, but something tells me that this is where he has returned. Now, you must excuse me, I need some time to think. And then, Alma, I shall leave you and your brother in missing escapable hands. He has ever repaid my trust with interest. You will do well to grant him yours. Thank you, Master Garland. I will not forget this kindness. So are all Garleans here?
Hmm?
Are all Garleans here? Like,
the
ones who can't. I mean, not all people living in the city, but like, I know that like the whole can't use magic thing is supposed to be genetic.
So
like,
not all Garleans are like related to specifically here. I believe a few of them share like Rogadan background, but I don't believe you see any remnants of like Bakote or what's it called?
Lalafell?
Yeah. Like, it tends to be more of the neutral races, if that makes sense. So, Rogadan, Elazin, and Hyur tend to be like the mix of groups for...
I just mean like, they have such a thing about being like pure-blooded Garlean. I mean, especially the fact that like being pure-blooded Garlean means you can't cast magic.
Yeah.
And it's weird to me if that goes across races, because that seems to go against the idea of this whole, like, blood purity thing they have going on.
It could have to do with some... Cause, like, without going into too heavy specifics, Rogadans came from the north. Like, we know that's where they originated from. There's an island chain, like, near where Charlayan, like, old Charlayan is, to the east. So it would make sense, like, some Rogadins may have gone further east to what would later become Isilbard and Garlemald. Cures seem to be more neutral across the world. So again, kind of makes sense they would happen. Same thing with Elizin to a lesser extent. Makote, Lalafels,
And the rest.
and the rest of them are kind of more geographically locked to a specific area of the world, which would make sense why they probably wouldn't be incorporated into the Empire as heavily as the other three.
Yeah, but I'm specifically talking about, like, you end up born with a marble in your forehead that says you can't cast magic.
Yeah, that's a, like, physical manifestation of it.
But it's like, if that, because they are, like, they talk about, like, it's the Garlean genetics that makes them unable to cast magic. I shouldn't be asking it. They'll probably go into it a lot later. I also just, like, noticed that, like, so many Garleans we meet conveniently have bangs covering their forehead. Seems to think highly of you. I would withhold judgment until after Dalmasca. Dalmasca is nestled in the forgotten corner of the Empire's outermost territories. I do not foresee any trouble coming from the standing army, but would suggest committing to memory the locations of each of the barge's exits, just in case. As for the fight itself, the currents above Dalmasca are as wild as the land below. You may want to hold on. Are we gonna meet? Captain Bosch von Rosenberg of Dalmasca. That's the meme. We'll complete our descent to Rabanasta in the shuttle. Ramza? I thought I made myself clear, Alma. The captain is simply too dangerous. Father would never forgive me if I were to lose you trying to rescue him. Is Alma a character from Final Fantasy Tactics also?
I believe so.
Because I know Ramza's the main character. I only played Tactics Advanced, so I don't know the specifics of... Original Tactics didn't seem like something I wanted to,
delve into.
Yeah, it seems a bit too, like, not dark fantasy, but, like... It's a lot of it's a heavier story about, like, political intrigue and stuff, and I'm like, I like the isekai story of Tactics Advance.
But yes, Alma was one of the characters from the original Tactics.
It's neat that they are blending tactics and I forget, because I know Dalmasca and Rabanasta and all that stuff is Final Fantasy XII. Was it also in the original Final Fantasy Tactics? I know it wasn't in Tactics Advance. Okay. Come, we're wasting time. According to Father, Rabanasta was already a thriving city some 1,000 years ago, but after performing several private excavations beneath the so-called Desert Sapphire, my father came to the conclusion that it was not the first settlement to stand here. And your father believes that Rabanasta sits atop the royal city of Lysalia, the capital of Ivalice. If that's true, it could change history. We'd be famous. Famous? Are you sure you don't mean rich? You kind of all alike. Parasites grown fat on sweat and suffering of others. Bold words for a boy but of 16 summers. And what, pray tell, have I done to deserve such spite? I only wish to learn the truth behind the disappearance of the Empire's foremost playwright. If that should do something, should lead to something bigger, well then, I would be the worst reporter in the realm if I didn't pursue it. Yes, we can argue about this now, or we can return to the Prima Vista and report on to our army adventurers that it's time to begin the expedition. I humbly suggest the latter. Banga! See, it's as I said, brother. Let them come to us. Should we kill them now? No, the time's not right. When has that stopped us before? Fool, do you see? That one, Slayer of Gods, they call him. The Warrior of Light. Royal City of Rabanasta, now accessible. So Dalmasca's the kingdom, Rabanasta is the city. Proceeds? Yes. Look, I'm happy we're at the point where it's like, he's kind of a big deal. So you know, walk away from this. If the legend of Ivalice is true, the public has a right to know. round rocks. I forgot I have round rocks. God, I do not have nearly enough triple triad cards.
Everyone starts somewhere with the triple triad collection.
Blue dragon. Nah, this is too much on the... I need stuff with big numbers on the other side. Oh, I have a Sadu card. Chocobo has a 7 on that side. Oh shit, I didn't even say this. Okay. Oh, cool, I can go around the entire thing. Company muscle. Every muscle on man's body has a name, as beautiful a thing it describes. I like trying to recite them to myself while training by the light of the moon. Full moon's best, of course. The wax and gibbous moon will suffice. So true, bestie. Garleans we may be, but that does not mean we approve of the Empire's every action. We seek the peaceful coexistence with all. Aye, aye, it may sound trite, but it's also true. So you may think, a good portion of Imperial citizens are at odds with the government in the matter of foreign policy. We're not all driven to invade and assimilate. The reason you do not hear any dissenting voices is simple. The invocable in Garlemald usually leads one to the gallows. One, two, three. The principal is missing, and half of our company heaped in the cabin's afraid to come out. For all I know, the moon could be descending from the skies in a brilliant blaze of glory, but that does not mean I can forego my practice. Now, that was 5 years ago. Don't be taken by the Empire's lies. Genomeless Sin Lexentail is no criminal. He is a treasure to be admired by all Garleans, from citizen to slave. Hark, as I sing of his grace and glory. You have short questions, I have short answers, relatively speaking, of course. What is the Zodiac Brave story? It's a tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, Beauty and the Beast. Whenever the kingdom was threatened, be it by tyranny, evil forces, or the realm-wide disaster, 12 blessed heroes would emerge to bring the light back to the Evil East. Those 12 were known as the Zodiac Braves. Each era had its own Zodiac Braves. Mullencamp, the Starseer, Saint Ajora, the Assassin, Ashley. I can list at least 5 others, but the far most popular has always been King Delita. Following the death of its king, Evil East's longest-standing Akshasha dynasty finds itself without an heir. In an attempt to claim the throne, the Order of the Northern Sky, under the banner of the White Lion, and the Order of the Southern Sky, under the banner of the Black Lion, waged war. That's why the remake's called the War of the Lions, resulting in the death of 1,000 and a veritable stalemate. When all of Evil East was at war with itself, he and the 11 of his most trusted companions set out to bring order to the realm. Though not of noble birth, Delita would ultimately unite the land as a regent, and the 12 became known as that era's Zodiac Braves. There has been much debate as to whether the legend is based on actual historical events or merely fiction, but most scholars agree that there is simply too little evidence to substantiate the claims of Evil East's existence. There are no ruins, no such relics, and the stories that we are left with, well, they're just that, stories. What's worse, there are so many of them, each with its own particularities, that only the most basic elements actually line up. Even some of the more recent renderings of the legend feature dramatic deviations, the most notable being that Delita was assassinating before even taking the throne, instead of becoming king after his marriage to Princess Olivia Ataksha. That's always been the trouble with bards and minstrels. You can't trust a single one of them not to change the story here or there for the sake of a rhyme. And so here we are, left in the dark without a light to ponder, and a mystery only the gods know. What happened to Dalmasca? The Damascan Desert is a vast wasteland situated in the southern reaches of the central Authard, sharing an eastern border with Nagsha. So large is this desert that it's divided into two regions, the Ester Sands and the Wester Sands. 30 years ago, the kingdom of Dalmasca was invaded by the Garlean Empire. When the king and his council refused to pledge fealty to the Empire, war erupted, resulting in the end of the royal Vengaran line. For 1,000 years, Dalmasca has maintained its independence, only to see it crumble in a matter of moons before the might of Solus Zoscalvus' metal-clad legions. Even the royal city of Rabanasta, the fabled desert sapphire, was not spared. Emboldened by the uprisings in Doma and Alamigo, resistance groups within Dalmasca have attempted coups of their own, yet all have been silenced. The Empire always seemed to know exactly when and where the insurgencies would begin. When I was a boy, I accompanied my father on one of his caravans to Rabanasta, and consider myself fortunate to have seen the royal city before its fall. The sight of its minarets bathed in the golden sunset is something that I will never forget. How is the Majestic's tale different from the legend? Unsurprisingly, there are many plays which attempt the telling of the Zodiac Brave story, but none have been as well received as the Majestic's rendition. When Genomos told me he was considering his own retelling of the legend, I was not remotely surprised. When he subsequently revealed his intention to make it a musical, however, nearly split my mind. I need to reread. Not content to simply write the play, he composed the music, penned the lyrics, and even saw to the damn choreography. I had never seen anything like it. The completion of the Zodiac Brave story, he proved his genius once and for all. The musical is divided into 5 acts, first 3 focusing on Delita's service to the Church of Galabados, and his first encounter with Princess Olivia Aktasha, and his subsequent oath to see her becoming queen. Final 2 acts moved with the War of the Lions, culminating in Delita's betrothal to the princess and their tragic end. The ensemble scene with Delita lost in his web of lies reveals the truth of his plan to the gods on one side of the stage, while on the other, Princess Olivia swears to self-same gods she will put the past behind her. Genius, a masterpiece of modern theater. Simple question, not so simple answer. I can begin by telling you that what I'm not, namely a member of the Majestic Theater Company. I'm a playwright like Principal Lexingtale, but unlike him, I have chosen to remain independent. Genomos is an old friend, and when I heard that he would be making the journey east, I asked if I could join him. You see, I too share many of the ideals that have fallen out of favor with the Imperial Court. As for who's the better writer, well, it's not for me to say. I will, however, admit to being a considerably slower writer, as my publishers will all too readily attest. To make matters worse, I've also developed a passion for cookery of late, and spent a great deal of my time here assisting the galley staff in exchange for a passage on the Prima Vista. Perhaps a change of profession is in order. Find a playwright than I was once wrote that all the world's a stage and all the men and women are merely players. Comforting thought, is it not? The Easter Sands will be the stage for the drama to come, and yours, the starring role. Do not disappoint your audience. Listen, what if Genomos isn't truly missing after all? What if this is all some manner of elaborate performance? Average wait time, 8 minutes. It was 9 minutes a second ago. It is nice that it has both gone down and we are still 11 minutes into the queue. I might actually want to wait to do the... Considering we haven't found a party yet, I might want to just sleep and maybe do this a bit later. As opposed to staying up. So I think I'm gonna wrap things up here. Let's see who we can toss things over to. Oh, Dead Pirate Brandon's playing some Resident Evil. Let's head over there. I'm gonna head on over here. I have a decent... Yes. I'm gonna raid Dead Pirate Brandon if you're on YouTube. It's twitch.tv/DeadPirateBrandon. Raid messages you found the missing persons. Thank you for hanging out. I will catch you guys next time. Maybe tomorrow morning? I do not know. But whenever I next feel like hopping back into Final Fantasy, I'll see you guys next time.